We're starting off with solving equations. This is our worksheet number 1, and we're just getting started with our review unit here with some basic distribution and combining like terms. And we have a few examples that you see here on the top, and so we'll just pick some problems from the top here. So let's start off with number 1. Now what I'm really pointing out here is some of the vocabulary that we use. Each of these are terms. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction signs, okay? And if you have a collection of terms like you see here on the right-hand side, we would call that an expression. All right, so when we are talking about combining like terms, we're talking about they have to have the same variable and the same exponent, so they all have the same exponent of 1 on the x. So yeah, they are like terms, and they can certainly be combined in that way. And then we'll divide away the 31 to isolate the variable. So keep your fraction as a reduced fraction. No need to turn that into a decimal value. All right, with a problem like number 2, we're going to start off by using that distributive property, multiplying the 3 to the binomial. So we have 18x and minus 6. And we have to do that so that we have our terms, right? Because now we can combine our like terms. Previously, the terms were not ready to be combined. Okay, combining those terms of x, we have a positive 17x. And then we're going to move the constant term to the right-hand side, so all of the constant terms are grouped together. And then divide away the 17. So again, notice you'll get some strange fractions in some of these problems. Don't be alarmed by that. We'll just reduce the fractions. Do not turn that into a decimal value. Now with a problem like number 3, we have this negative in front, and really the point here is to notice that you need to change the sign on every term inside the grouping symbols. So we have negative 4 in front, and then we're subtracting an x, and we're subtracting a 4. Combining our like terms, negative 4 combined with a negative 4 is a negative 8. And then we'll move our constant terms to the right-hand side, giving us a positive 3, and then dividing away the negative 1, so x equals negative 3. Okay, that's the concept. Here's just a couple more for some variations. On a problem like number 4, we have a distribution on the left. We also have a distribution on the right side of the equal sign, so let's do that first. 6 times x and 6 times 4, then 8 times x and 8 times negative 3, so negative 24. Let's see, I think I'll start by combining the terms with x. So I'm going to move that 6x to the right, so I'm subtracting 6x from both sides. So 24 equals 2x minus 24. Let's move those constant terms to the left side, so we'll add 24 to both sides, and then divide away the 2, and there's your result. Okay, saving the best for last, here's number 5. You can see that's quite a monster problem here. Really, the trick here is, can you pay close attention to all the details and not skip over any terms? There's the equal sign. So let's chunk it up looking at each half one section at a time. So here's just the left half of that equation. By covering up some of it, it doesn't look quite so overwhelming. And what we're doing is focusing on distributing. So we'll distribute that negative 2, and we'll distribute the negative 1 to those binomials. So we end up with negative 6x minus 2, and then minus x and plus 2. And there's your equal sign. So let's take a look at the right-hand side now. And here's a single term of 7. Here's a single term of negative 8x. Here's a multiplier, so we'll distribute that to the binomial. Here's another negative sign we have to distribute, and then here's a 1/3 that we have to distribute as well. So let's do that now. So there's the term of 7, there's the term of 8x. Let's multiply the negative 2. So we have a negative 2x and a minus 8. Distribute the negative sign, so we have a negative 6 and a positive 3x. And when we distribute the 1/3, you can think of that as being divided by 3. So think of it as a 9 times the 1, but then divided by the 3. So we have a positive 3. And then think of it as a negative 12x times the 1, divided by 3, so it's a negative 4x. So now what we're trying to do is we're trying to combine our like terms, and we've got like terms scattered all throughout. So again, we're just taking a look at one side of the equation at a time. So here I'm going to combine my like terms in x. So negative 6x combined with another negative x gives us negative 7x. And then the minus 2 and the plus 2 cancel out, so that's the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, let's see what we have here. I have a negative 8x combined with a negative 2x combined with a positive 3x combined with a negative 4x, right? We're going to combine those terms of x so we get a negative 11x. Now let's combine the constant terms, so we have a 7 minus 8 minus 6 and a plus 3, so that works out to be a negative 4. So now it's a lot more manageable. Let's move the x's to the left-hand side, so I'm adding 11x to both sides. And then divide away the coefficient of 4, so